Hi, this is Janet Wakeland with RemarkablyCreated.com and the Remarkable Stampers. In today's edition of My Digital Studio Monday, we are going to look at creating hybrid cards. Hybrid cards are a mix of digital and traditional crafting supplies such as ribbon, buttons, cardstock, and things like that. A couple of things that I like to do within my digital studio is first I like to create what I call generic cards. These are full-size cards that I have printed that I can simply add that traditional touch, such as a button with a cute little bow, cardstock, glitter, and things like that. So a couple of different generic cards that I've had made. Oh hello is just a generic greeting, and then I can go ahead and add some things to that. This one you will be seeing, and you saw in my blog post, where I simply can add a greeting to the more mustard banner that you see there. This one here, you'll see that is missing a flower. It has leaves and it has an empty spot. And you'll see in my blog post where I created a beautiful 3D embellishment of a flower to add there. On this generic card here, again, it's just another greeting that I can add. On this one, you could easily add baker's twine and cute little knots. And you can also add cute little buttons and things and a greeting of your choice. And then this one here with the washi tape. Washi tape is oh so hot right now. Again, I can add all kinds of fun embellishments to it. So let's go ahead and open up a project and let's take a look at it. When creating a generic card for your, I'm trying to take the bleed area off here for a second. I'm multitasking. When creating a generic card for hybrid card making, it's no different than creating a regular card. You're simply going to start with a new project and you're going to pick the size. That's just a size card that you want it to be. So whatever size greeting card, you would pick whatever size that you wanted it to be. Okay, we're going to leave this one up on the front. And a couple of different things. You can have full-size cards, as you saw in my blog post, printed, and you simply can then just add to that full-size card a greeting of choice, a button, or something like that. To print full-size greeting cards, yes, you can print from your printer at home, and I won't discuss printing from your printer at home just because there are so many variables. What setting your printer set at, what kind of printer you're using, does your printer print to edge, and on and on. As a demonstrator, my favorite way to print full-size cards is to come up here to the order button and to order cards through Stampin' Up's professional printers. I do this for a couple of reasons. One, I don't have to worry about all of the settings on my printer. And second off, as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'm blessed that all of my personal purchases count towards any minimums, incentives, awards, and things like that. And so I get to help my own business by ordering through myself. So I like to print my cards there. But there are times when I do like the flexibility of creating what I call card fronts and layering them onto different beautiful colors of Stampin' Up! Cardstock. Also, there are those card emergencies where the generic ones I have on hand just won't do for what I want to personalize them, or I'm out of them and I'm waiting for them for the printer. And so in that case, after I've created my card front, there are two different ways that I'm going to show you that you can print the card fronts for using in your hybrid card making. First, one of the ways is to come up here to Project, click on Share. We're going to click on Export Pages. I'm going to change the pages because I'm only creating a card front, so I only need to export the card front. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to make sure that JPEG is selected. Make sure that you know where you're sending the card to, what folder you're sending it to, and I'm going to click Finish. So now I'm going to go to the folder where I sent it to. So let's come up here to the folder that I sent it to. And let's open that for just a second. And, okay, I thought I sent it there. Let's try it one more time because it's, oh, no, here it is over on the end. Sorry about that. So now I have a generic card. I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to just right-click, and I'm going to go to Print. I do own an Epson printer, and my Epson printer brings me up this really nice menu that I have to work with. Obviously, I could print this as a full 8.5 by 11 sheet, 4 by 6, 5 by 7, 8 by 10, depending on what I'm doing. I like to work with the 3 by 5 by 5-inch model so I can get 4 card fronts, which allows me to mass produce. And I'm going to go ahead and mark that I want 4, and it will populate the sheet with 4 images. If I leave it fit to picture, it stretches it. And this will give me just a small margin to cut and layer onto cardstock. If I unclick this, it will shrink it down and it will give me a greater white margin around it for even more layering possibilities. And then I simply hit Print. And it does, depending on, I've selected what kind of presentation paper that I'm printing on and all of that kind of stuff, and it will print it beautiful. I do use Stampin' Up's cardstock. I love the quality of our Whisper White, our Very Vanilla, our Crumb Cake, and so I do print direct to Stampin' Up's cardstock. And again, I am working personally with an Epson printer. And so then I have those 4 card fronts. Another option that you have, let's go back to My Digital Studio, is to print direct from the printer here. Depending on the size, here you can see it showing it as a 5 1/4 by 4 1/4 card front, so that would be the traditional card. I would make it smaller so that I have a card front. Depending on the size here, the output may allow you to select multiple images. And so what you would do is come up here into more settings, and depending on, again, this size here, it may or may not allow you to select multiple images. And so here it's going to put 2 of these images on the page for me, and I would get 2 out of a piece of paper. You can see why I personally like to export it as a JPEG and use my Epson printer, because I can get more from the paper. You can also tell it that you want to center it horizontally or vertically. In the times that I am printing direct from My Digital Studio, I usually will center them off so that I have this extra piece of cardstock left to do something else with. I'm really good at using up my scraps. And you will select the pages, and let's just clear all. I only want it to print this one. And we'll come back here under our more options. It's not going to do more than one this time for me. So again, depending on the output finish, you may get more than one, but you can print direct from here. You can also scale it, actual size. You can do a custom print. You can start with what you originally started with, and you can change the size right in here as well too. So that's one of the benefits of printing direct from My Digital Studio versus from your printer by exporting it as a JPEG, is you can take what you've created and convert it right here into a custom size. So one or the other would fit your needs depending on what's going on. So now let's back out of all of this, and let's pull up my blog post for the day. And let's just take a look at the different samples. Here it's a little hard to see, but you can see that there's a white edge. I love leaving a white edge and mounting white onto white cardstock. I like that finish. It's kind of like, is there a layer or isn't there? And all I simply did here was using Early Espresso. I went ahead and stamped a greeting. And having this Ferris wheel is kind of a generic card, and I can just find different stamps that are going to fit into this more mustard banner and alter that card as I need to. On this sample here, all we simply did was add a beautiful in-color dahlia to it, mounted it onto Coral Calypso cardstock, and then onto white cardstock, and we have a beautiful, simple, finished card. All of the elements on this card, with the exception of the dahlia, were created in My Digital Studio for you. Another one on the post today, this is that little wash line that you saw. I chose not to add any buttons or anything to this one, or any any baker's twine. I did mount it on coordinating colored cardstock and then again onto white. And I simply added a greeting down here in the corner. Simple, quick greeting cards, thank you cards maybe for a wedding gift or something like that. On this one, here's the washi tape again. I added Thinking of You in the Midnight Muse. I added an in-color dahlia over top of baker's twine and mounted that direct to cardstock. Here is the one that was missing the flower. You can see again that little white edge onto white cardstock, and now you can see the 3D flower embellishment that I added to that card. Of course, there's lots of other different types of flowers and things that you can add into there, whether you create them with Stampin' Up! Punches, Stampin' Up! Big Shot dies, or you indulge and purchase different finished flowers that are out there on the marketplace. And then just to show you, there's all 5 of the cards again together. And one last thing just to show you, this is the full-size note card. Here's a full-size note card that I had printed through Stampin' Up's professional printers. It's a full-size card, so it's not layered. Here I simply added a button in baker's twine and a greeting, and it just made for a really quick way for me just to send, hello, I'm thinking about you. One of the things that I absolutely love is Facebook, and hopefully you're following me on Facebook either as a friend or on my professional page. Come find me, Janet Morrow Wakeland, and that's MORROWWAKELAND, or the Remarkable Stampers. But I love that it lets me know what's going on in my friends' lives, and I can use that to send out cards and let them know that I'm thinking about them and things like that. So hopefully I helped you a little bit with some hybrid ideas and created that need for having My Digital Studio. It's $19.95. It's a great investment in your card making. My blog post today will give you lots of things that My Digital Studio can do that stamps can't do. And I am here to train and teach and support you in it. So I encourage you to take the My Digital Studio plunge. It's not just for scrapbooking and digital photo books. It's an awesome tool for card makers. So have a great day. Take care, and God bless.